Hey YouTube, this is your girl Shells coming to you once again. I had to speak to you again. Today is pretty much in reference to Tmau and my background before I actually discovered I had Tmau. Before I actually ended up finding out I did have Tmau, just a little bit of brief information about my background. I could tell you that I was a foster child at one point in time. It wasn't right after I was born, but it was pretty much right before I hit a teenager. My family split up and I ended up going into foster care. If anybody knows anything about foster care, you know that you have the good foster parents and then you just have the foster parents that pretty much just want the money. You know how that goes. So when I turned 16 with my foster parents, because there was so much drama in the household, I emancipated myself at the age of 16. If anybody doesn't know what emancipation is, it's pretty much when you try yourself as an adult, even though you're not 18, but because you're a ward of the state and you don't have your biological mother and father to stand up for you, you try yourself as an adult. So after going through so many issues and complications living in foster care, I tried myself as an adult. And I was in my 11th grade of high school. I had pretty much a year and a half left to be able to graduate. So I emancipated myself. I took 2 classes while I was in the 11th grade. And at that point in time, I worked a full-time job, which wasn't the easiest thing. I found this lady, she rented a room out to me for like between $250 and $300 a month, and I felt like I could really deal with that due to the fact that, you know, I was working a full-time job. So while all the other kids in school were trying to figure out what they were going to wear to a football game or a basketball game, or what guy they were going to go out with, or what guy they were going to date, I had to pretty much be on survival mode. Survival mode pretty much saying is that I didn't have time to be playing. I pretty much had to make sure that I was taken care of. It was eat or be eaten, do or die. That was my situation when I was in high school. So I'm sure you're all ready to find out what the results were. That next year I graduated with honors. Yes, without mother, without father, pretty much paying my own bills, and I did graduate with honors. And at that point in time, that gave me a real sense of purpose, knowing that I was that strong to be able to overcome something like that. And I already knew that I had this kind of strength that everybody didn't possess, and I just knew it was something special about me as a whole. So when I went through what I went through in high school, I always felt like it was getting me ready for something. You know, I could have went one way, but I went a whole different way. I could have made excuses. I could have got on drugs. I could have did any kind of prostitution, and I could have took the easy way out. I could have made excuses, but I didn't make excuses. Just because I had a hard life, it wasn't who I was, but it was what I went through. Okay? What you go through is not who you are. And most of the time in all of my videos, you normally hear me say that, because I add significance on that, because you all have to understand Tmau is not who you are. It is what you have. And it's how you deal with it. Okay? It's how you deal with your limp. Okay? I found out that I had these complications as far as the body odor, or whatever the case may be. It was always there. As I stated, as I got older, it got stronger. Right now, with the Tmau, I am definitely coping with it. Okay? When I say cope with it, it's not that I'm happy with it, but I'm learning to not pay attention to certain things. You all notice when people were sniffing and coughing and clearing their throat and doing all the coughing and stuff like that. Was it me, or does it just drive you crazy? Yes. The key to that is to pretty much ignore. It's to kind of like have a one-track mind. Like when you go into the grocery store, or if you go to the hair salon, or if you're going to be around a lot of people, whatever the case may be, the key to being able to feel comfortable in your own skin without worrying about reactions or what's going on through somebody's mind is to give positive energy. As if it didn't even bother you, as if you were just like everybody else. That is the key to being able to cope with TMAU. Growing up, you will hear a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't worry about what the next person is saying about you because they really don't pay your bills. Well, it's kind of like how TMAU is that I feel like it is, when I hear people coughing and sneezing and all of this, I feel like it's them trying to take my positive energy. I can go into a environment with a positive attitude and positive energy, and the minute somebody does one of those gestures, you automatically get on the defense, don't you? The key is to not get on the defense. And not only just not get on the defense, the person that maybe even doing the gesture you may want to speak to or be nice to. It's almost as if you're allowing somebody to steal your joy. When you're indulged, when you get mad, when you give somebody your energy like that over something that they have no education about, why are you giving them your energy like that? The key to is act as if they doesn't exist. Act as if you have an agenda. Act as if you're going to go get this money, get in, get out, handle business, and do what you got to do, and walk away. That's the key to being able to deal with TMAU. And I know people are going to say, well, how can easier said than done, right? With me, the reason why it's easier said than done is because I think I've already went through the hardest part with knowing about the TMAU, understanding the TMAU. Now, the only thing you can do is pretty much just set yourself free. Why keep yourself miserable? Set yourself free of the situation and keep yourself busy. What is it that you enjoy doing? Do you like writing? Do you like working out? I have a thing where I feel like anytime I get stressed out about something, I have to work out. Okay? Do something that makes you happy. Write about your TMAU. You know what I'm saying? Anything that brings it out. Talk to somebody that has TMAU, somebody like you know, somebody that can understand what you're going through. Or maybe, you know, some people say talk to counselors, you know, not even just a counselor. Get on your hands and knees and talk to God. Whatever situation you just went through, or you just had an encounter with somebody, just get on your hands and knees and pray to God about it. I promise you it'll make you feel 100% better. But what I wanted to say was that the reason why I actually ended up going into the background of my life history, or what I went through as a child while I was in high school, is because I felt like it got me ready to be able to deal with TMAU, being a single mother and raising children. Raising children and having TMAU, some people would say it is not the easiest thing. I will tell you, it has been very comfortable for me. When I go to my son's school, I say hi to his teacher, ask her how he was doing for that day, tell her to have a blessed day. I could care less what she detected. I could also care less what she told her colleague when I left, because see, I can't control what you said about me when I leave. However, I can control what you say about me when you're in front of my face. Okay? Hey, Miss Carrie, how are you? I can probably say that I don't think that it was a genetic thing. I think that I actually ended up heard comments here and there growing up, like probably after puberty. I wouldn't say that it was a genetic thing, but right after puberty. I don't know if it was like a hormone imbalance, Miss Carrie. I think it has something to do with my hormones changing. And even then, at that point in time, the odor itself, it wasn't even prudent that strong where a person can detect it from such a a long, from such a long distance. I noticed that it started hitting me, like, as far as like people being able to notice it, like right after I had my first son, which was in 2011. So yeah, around about that time. So back to what I was saying, before I answered the question, I do want to say that everything that I went through, growing up, I feel like it prepared me for TMAU. I feel like TMAU was supposed to destroy who I was. It was supposed to destroy my self-confidence, because, like, the devil is very tricky, because when you're such a beautiful young lady, and when you carry this kind of power, and when you carry this kind of confidence, you always have some kind of challenge. And I really feel like this particular issue has been a challenge for me, but I have overcome it. And that's the beautiful thing. And everybody goes through trials and tribulations, but the end result is what it's really all about. It's what it's really all about. And I am very happy with this outcome. If I have to live with TMAU for the rest of my life, that's something that I have no choice but to cope with. But once again, it was supposed to destroy me. I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still smiling. I went through all of that in my childhood. No mother, no father. Pretty much growing up, taking care of myself. Didn't have a childhood. And you mean to tell me I didn't break yet? You mean to tell me that I'm going to let a stranger cough, sniff, or sneeze and let that get to me, everything that I done been through in my childhood? You think I'm going to let TMAU tear me down? Not likely. To all of my subscribers, I wanted to bring this to you today because I love y'all so much. Oh my God, I love y'all so much. And hopefully one day I'll be able to meet one of you all. I will let you know each time I go through an episode or something like that, I'm going to be honest with you, I get to writing, I get my pen and I get my pad and I start writing. It makes me feel 100% better. I mean, if you haven't tried it, don't pick up the phone and call anybody. Just start writing or get on your hands and knees and start praying. That's how I learned how to cope with things, because every time you have an episode or break out into one of your spells, you're not going to always be able to cry on somebody's shoulder, especially somebody who doesn't have TMAU, because they would never really understand what your true pain is, what you really actually go through. I would say the only person that will be able to understand what you go through with TMAU is a person who suffers from it, and God himself, because he's the maker. He knows you inside out. He knows what you need, He knows what you're yearning for. So I wanted to come to you all today and say that if I went through all that I went through, growing up as a teenager, and now I'm a grown woman, 34 years old, and I have 2 wonderful boys, and I can still stand on my own 2 feet. And with all the suffering that I have been through already, you can't tell me I'm not all that. You can't tell me I don't have the right to shut you down when you say something indirectly to me. I will put you in your place in a minute. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to come to you today and, say that it was supposed to destroy me. Unfortunately, the devil was not successful in this situation. You got to be something to break me. You got to be. And I don't intend to let TMAU break me. And I don't want TMAU to break you all, regardless of whether it's about acceptance, whether it's about, you going through what you're going through. Once again, the right people will accept you. The right people will let you in. And once again, less people, less problems. The more time that you have to focus on yourself, that's the more successful you become. Do not let this cripple you. TMAU in your mind might be a setback. It's not a setback. It is to keep you grounded and to keep you focused so you won't be all over the place. So if you did not have TMAU, what exactly would you be doing? Not only is it supposed to keep you motivated, it's also designed to keep you closer to God as well. I want you to think about that. Once again, I love you all. Keep it classy, keep it sassy. Ladies, I love you. Gentlemen, I love you. If you want to get in contact with me, classylady83@outlook.com. Also, if you want to contact me, I'm in Virginia. My number is 252-573-4119. Do contact me if you need to talk at any given time. And God bless you all. I love you. And don't forget who you are and what you stand for. God bless.